You got a name for that plane?
That's a Cessna 185 Skywagon. It's called a Skywagon, but that one's amphibious. It's they're pretty common around, you know, South Louisiana. They were used in the oil industry, and so they're pretty much a common mode of transportation in South Louisiana, getting to some of the back country and some of the oil fields that we go to. And so they're almost like Alaska and, you know, Seattle area. Florida's got quite a few of them, but they're mostly recreational, private use. These down here are mostly in a commercial application. Oh, I've been flying since the early 70s. My father was the founder of the company, so most kids had hot rods in high school. I had airplanes. So I had my license when I was 16 and I got my commercial when I was 18. And, you know, and you take the whole scheme of things, do we manage the Mississippi River from Minnesota to the mouth very well? Probably not. Are we gaining on? Are we learning?
That's where he grew up on.
Yeah, well, it's a pristine stream
north
over there in Minnesota. Down here, I don't even tell you what we want to think of it as. You know, so you can, you know, place a day, maybe walk across it in a nice stream, but it's not that when you get down here after everybody dumps in it. Pardon my French.
Yeah. You don't want to go swimming in the Mississippi down here, huh?
No. So, you know, and even back then, there was this big debate of whether to levee Mississippi River, not levee. The farmers up there in, you know, Illinois and Iowa, they didn't want that levee, that river levee, because they wanted to overflow their fields, put new soil, new nutrients in there, and that stuff is real fertile. But, you know, but we told the government, look, levee this thing so civilization can prosper and economy will grow. Well, we did that, but it was kind of shot ourselves in the foot, and y'all saw some of the effects of putting the levee around and sitting around Mississippi. When you know, I'm born and raised here, so when we've had hurricanes in the past, they wasn't as violent. Didn't seem as violent, but didn't have seen as much storm surge. But probably because the south of here didn't have the population like we have today, so we allowed these people to drain off the marsh and to populate in areas that if you had a storm, it would cover it with water, but nobody would care about it. So now we allow these people to populate around here, and they really don't think anything. They just think that the levees are going to hold till something like a megastorm comes like Katrina, and oh man, what happened? Why couldn't the levees hold it? Or why did some of them get over top? Why did some of them break? You know, so I don't think they venture out, if you're not a real sportsman, out into the marsh and see, well, man, a couple of 3-4 miles, I'm right here in open water. And then, you know, with the hurricanes, we haven't had a strong hurricane here in 5 or 6, 7 years. You know, we had one little small one after Katrina. So a lot of people get kind of lulled in this false sense of security.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know, and that's another thing. You know, the National Weather Service says, oh, we're going to have a bad hurricane, and not a real small, light hurricane season. We're not going to have a terrible hurricane season. Well, I can tell you, if you have one hurricane and you get hit by it, you had a bad season. Yeah, we got a master plan. We have an idea what we want to do. They have an idea how they want to spend the money. There's a couple of philosophies, and one is that, and I don't buy into totally of this, is that the bird's foot of the actual Mississippi Delta, the mouth of the river, right. It's such an old delta that the weight of itself is subsiding faster than it can build itself. That could be. So the diversions are all going to be on the upper end, just south of New Orleans, because we think that we can sustain that and help that, and then we'll put diversions further downstream to kind of hopscotch down there. You can't go fix down there, so there's some theories that we're just going to leave that alone for the time being and try to fix what we had up here. But if you do nothing, you have a rapid land loss that you can't control.